All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Of course, it's still Nollywood Tuesday, and we have our guest in the studio with us. Now, our guest is a Nigerian film director, editor, screenwriter, and producer with a career spanning over a decade and a half. He's got his first movie credit in 1998, where he co-produced Two Good Men. Now, speaking of men, though, one of the films he directed is said to be one of the highest-grossing Nollywood films in the cinema right now. Can you guess which film? Or can you guess who he is? Well, suspense over. His name is Moses Inwang. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And of course, congratulations on having one of the highest grossing films. Or is it the highest?
It's the highest right now. It's
right now.
Right now for films in the cinemas.
Fantastic. And that's Merriment too, of course.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Well, it's always a great feeling to be on top, you know, and we want to keep the figures rising.
And you are one of the...
Why are you over there?
Oh my God. Wow. Because you guys cannot accommodate me there.
Okay.
All right. It's good to see you again. Thank you so much for coming. I mean, you've been on this set.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're one of those people they named top 10 directors of 2019. I know it feels good too.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It does. Always does.
Always does.
Yeah.
And you have one of your movies right there on Netflix?
Yeah, Crazy People.
Crazy People. Interesting stuff. All right. So, I mean, you have always been working and doing all of this. Even the premiere I came for the other time, that we really enjoyed. The reason you came here the other time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was telling you about Cold Feet. Yeah.
Yeah. So now let's talk. I mean, how do you intend to sustain all of this that you have accomplished?
The only way to do that is to keep putting out great films, keep working hard, keeping your focus, you know, don't compromise on your standard, just keep doing your thing, making sure it's the best of the best that you put out there. That's how you sustain the tempo.
Okay, talking about the best of the best, what makes Moses Inwang different from every other Nollywood producers?
It's just that I just have a little more swag than every other person.
Wow, you do say so yourself. Okay.
I'm playing.
So is that
Well,
all?
nah, I don't think I'm different. I think we're all striving for excellence. I know a bunch of producers that are doing really, really great films, and we're all just trying to tell our stories and tell it in a fantastic, in the African way, and put it out the best way that we can. So I don't like to see myself as different, you know, even though I like to do my own kind of stories, my own stuff.
Yeah.
But then we're all in here trying to do well.
So I did watch Merriment too, and I noticed that you kind of like action. I mean, most of your films have action themes. And how do you do that? Do you have stuntsmen that you use, or it's just the actors that are doing it themselves?
We have stunt choreographers that help the actors get in shape.
Oh,
and
okay.
then, yes, I'm also a stunt choreographer myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so yeah, we just get around to get it to
So you
happen.
train people on how to perform the stunts?
Yeah, fights, stunts, shooting, and all that.
That's fantastic. Wow. Okay.
Okay, if you could look at the Nollywood industry since when you started as a movie producer, director, what would you love to change right about now?
I think there's still a lot of mediocrity embedded in the industry. I would love to change. Capacity building, a lot of the untrained filmmakers, a lot of untrained actors. That should change, definitely change. We need people in there who know what they're doing, who are skillful, and who will, because a director himself can't make a film. You need all of everyone in the crew, and you need professional actors as well as talented actors. And so I think capacity building is what we should intensify more on. And then, having said that, the other thing is funding. Funding is always the problem. In fact, funding solves every other thing. Funding solves capacity building. Funding solves everything. So if we get the right kind of funding that we need, yes,
Because I'm surprised to hear that because
It's
most
a problem everywhere, even in Hollywood.
even all nowadays, all the films we're hearing from Nollywood are breaking the box office, making so much
Well,
returns.
they are making.
So-
You don't know how much was put in. The only figure you hear is how much they're making. There's going to be deductions. After that, then we can now tell if there was a break even on that.
So was
project.
Merriment too profitable?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. Merriment 2 has made over 200 million.
Okay. And how much did you cost?
Now, I'm not the producer.
Yeah.
I don't know how much was invested. I know it's over 100 million
Okay.
that was put into the film. I know it's way over 100 million. So if we've made just 200 million and there's going to be deductions and taxes and all that, then
I guess you.
Yeah, so I would like to actually take a cue from this. We've been talking about structure forever, and you can actually say that this is like, putting the structure in place, doing the thing, funding, being on ground, and all of these things, government coming into the industry to helping and all of this. But then when you think about it, do you think that we would actually get there? Because it's almost like,
We keep saying it over and
steps
over.
are being taken, but we've been on this thing for a while.
I think we will definitely get there. I think we are actually on the right track. There's a lot of interventions with funding, both government and interventions from other places, from other organizations coming through for Nollywood. And our voices are getting louder these days. Our works are going out there, and the focus is actually on Nollywood at this point in time from all over the world. So yes, we are on the path to where we want to be. Yes, so we'll get there.
That's Moses' promised land conversation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a break now, and when we come back, we'll still have our guest right here to talk some more. Moses Inwang, let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, we still have the director of that particular movie, Merriment 2, Moses Inwang, is in the building. And of course, we checked out Cold Feet earlier. You directed that.
Yeah.
Sorry, people would like to see who the guy is behind all of this.
Yeah.
This is how you see me on regular.
Because right now, don't
Because if you see me
recognize.
without my shades,
So that
you
they
won't
can stop.
recognize
So
me.
that they can stop you on the road to say, "Please, I
Honestly.
want to be in your movies."
Someone actually met me somewhere at the cinemas and said, I know you. I'm like, why? How do you? I'm not on the moves or anything. He said, yeah, because you always wear this shades.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
we
for
check-
real.
so we check
this
out some
isn't
of-
the real me right now.
Okay, why? Shooting?
This without my shades.
Oh,
Oh, you feel
Yeah.
exposed.
I feel so exposed.
I
I
want
feel
to
so
break the
naked.
table
thank
a
you for
little,
doing this for
though.
us.
Oh yeah, break.
Yeah, because earlier on you said, we need to tell more of the Nigerian stories and talk more about our culture. But when I watch Merriment 2, I see guns, I see fast
cars.
When I watch your films, I see all of that, and I'm like, is that the real Nigerian story?
The fast cars are owned by who? By Americans.
Well, I mean, when we
The guns were on. Where
when
did
we
we
think
get the guns
Nigerian
from?
stories, we think of
Village,
village
Calabash.
setting.
That's the
or-
only story we tell as Africans, as Nigerians. See, that's the thing they want to. That's the thing the Western world portrays of us in CNN, on their Western media. Do you understand? Poverty, afflictions.
Primitive.
Yeah.
bond.
Yeah, people in huts and mud houses. Is that what we should portray ourselves to?
but when we still talking about this conversation, don't you think things like that were the reason why Oscar rejected, aside the language?
No, it was
rejected
just the language.
The language.
Yeah,
So
because it
what-
has to be, I think, about 85% foreign language.
So what if we give them the language, don't give them all those calabash and stream? Don't you think they would just the Oscars would
To give
just
them Calabash and Stream and people in
But there's a way to
In-
portray that and
yeah.
make it look
speak English, you will
nice.
still be rejected.
Okay, so let's talk about your work being on Netflix, and it's almost like these days, I don't know, maybe people are beginning to like get disappointed. They're not like, oh, Netflix. So people have been questioning certain movies getting on Netflix, like, oh, what is the criterion, or what are the criteria of getting your movies right there on Netflix? Because it's beginning to look like somebody was talking about a certain movie this morning. I think it was Vendor or something. Like, how did he even find its way there?
I think the criteria would be technical specifications. You know, if you meet it, you meet it. They don't care about your story because they don't really know what story. They shouldn't tell you what story to tell the world. And then they are aggregators, and if the aggregators that Netflix has assigned feel that this content is good enough, then Netflix will put it on and pay for it. You know, so I mean, as long as it meets the technical specifications, boom.
But what's
it's
the
on.
difference between when Netflix sponsors the film and when you put it on afterwards? Do they still pay you when you put it on afterwards?
Yeah, of course. It's licensing. It's called licensing. They get it for a period of time, maybe a year or two,
Okay.
exclusively or non-exclusively.
Okay.
But then when it's when they pay you, when they give you that big money to make a film, or after you've made the film, they acquire it. That's acquisition. That means it's their property. It's a Netflix film. You can't put it anywhere else. You can't do nothing with it. They'll probably let you release it in the cinemas, and that'll be it. You know. After that, that's it. It's their property.
Okay. All
Wrap,
right.
wrapping up the interview, quick one. What is the toughest or the most challenging movie you've ever directed?
Merryman.
Why?
Merryman.
Because of the
Which
guns
one
and the
or
cars?
two?
Nah, because Merryman is a film of 5 guys or 5 ladies, and most of the time they are on set. And Merryman is a film of about 200 scenes, 200 plus scenes. 200 plus scenes with about 10 people on set on almost every of the scenes.
To control them.
Yeah,
That's massive.
10 stars,
Are we expecting Merryman
10
3?
egos, 10 alter egos.
Wow. But we're
Yeah, I mean-
expecting Merryman 3 because this is
Yes.
1 and 2. We are?
I expect Merryman 3.
Woo!
exclusive.
You heard it here
Sooner
first.
than, sooner than.
Yes, thank you very much,
Wow.
Mrs.
You
A1, for
expect.
coming through. Yes, guys, that was only just
Looking
one
better with my
half
shades.
of the show.